La 7706e séance du Conseil de sécurité est ouverte. L'ordre du jour provisoire de la présente séance est la situation en Libye. L'ordre du jour est adopté. Conformément à l'article 37 du règlement intérieur provisoire du Conseil, j'invite les représentants de la Libye à participer à la présente séance. Il en est ainsi décidé. Conformément à l'article 39 du règlement intérieur provisoire du Conseil, j'invite M. Martin Kobler, représentant spécial du secrétaire général pour la Libye et chef de la mission d'appui des Nations Unies en Libye, à participer à la présente séance. Il en est ainsi décidé. Le Conseil de sécurité va maintenant aborder l'examen du point 2 de l'ordre du jour. J'appelle l'attention des membres du Conseil sur le rapport du secrétaire général sur la mission d'appui des Nations Unies en Libye, publié sous la cote S-2016-452. À la présente séance, le Conseil de sécurité entendra les exposés de M. Martin Kobler, représentant spécial du secrétaire général pour la Libye et chef de la mission d'appui des Nations Unies en Libye, et de l'ambassadeur Ramlan bin Ibrahim, représentant permanent de la Malaisie, en sa qualité de président du comité du Conseil de sécurité créé par la résolution 1970 de 2011 concernant la Libye. Sans plus tarder, je donne la parole à M. Martin Kobler.
Voilà, merci bien, Monsieur le Président. Monsieur le Président, distingués membres du Conseil, vous avez reçu le dernier rapport du secrétaire général sur les activités de la mission d'appui des Nations Unies en Libye, qui détaille le travail effectué par la mission depuis le 26 février. Ce rapport fait part des avancées politiques en Libye. Il dépeint également une situation humanitaire tragique, faite de drames personnels et de souffrances collectives. Je commencerai donc en revenant sur la crise humanitaire et la tragédie humaine qui frappe la Libye. Mr. President, in the few weeks since the preparation of the report, over 6,000 families from Sirte alone have fled their homes to escape ongoing clashes and military operations against Daesh, not to mention the day-to-day hardship of life under Daesh. Many are sheltering in schools, university, and public buildings. The number of displaced persons in Libya has reached a staggering 435,000. The capacity of local communities, of aid agencies to host and provide assistance has been stretched to the breaking point. In the month of May, 1,100 migrants tragically died in the central Mediterranean Sea. On a single day, on May 26, 500 migrants drowned off the coast of Libya, among them 40 children. Migrant drownings increased more than 30% compared to the same period last year. In a country rich with natural resources as Libya, it is unacceptable that the healthcare system is so thoroughly dilapidated. So too, the damage of vital infrastructure, the acute shortages in health workers and essential medicines and supplies. Mr. President, all this is the consequence of the continued lack of state authority in most parts of the country. Next week marks 6 months since the December signing of the Libyan political agreement. The signing was the first time that the Libyan people had dared believe again peace and unity in Libya were attainable. It was the first time they dared hope that guns, which had brought untold suffering and destruction upon their lives, could finally be silenced. Armed with nothing but the legitimacy bestowed on them by the Libyan political agreement, 7 courageous members of Libya's Presidency Council took the bold step on March 30th to courageously cross the sea from Tunisia to Tripoli. Still, the sense of hope and optimism with which people across Libya welcomed the signing of the agreement and the arrival of the Presidency Council in Tripoli stands in contrast today to the sense of growing impatience and concern. At this critical moment in Libya's transition, facts must be acknowledged as they are. It has been almost 5 months now since the Presidency Council submitted a revised proposal for the government of national accord. Today, Libya is still without a formally endorsed government. The implementation of the Libyan political agreement has stalled, and it has stalled because some parties to the agreement have failed to uphold their commitments. The House of Representatives has an integral role to play in Libya's democratic transition. However, it must make progress in fulfilling its obligations under Libyan political agreement to hold a vote on endorsing the government of national accord. Given the scale of problems facing Libya's population, the country must have a functioning government, ministries, and bureaucracy. The rapidly deteriorating humanitarian situation, the escalating military tensions linked to the fight against Daesh requires boldness, determination, and decisiveness. I wish to take this opportunity to comment the efforts of the Presidency Council over recent weeks to seize the initiative and exercise leadership. It decided to establish joint operation rooms to coordinate military operations against Daesh, and it instructed ministers to begin work pending their formal swearing-in. These are steps in the right direction. I welcome the League of Arab States Declaration of May 28th, which encouraged the acting ministers of the Government of National Accord to work from Tripoli until the House of Representatives formally endorses the government. The League of Arab States also recognized the GNA as the sole legitimate government and called on member states to refrain from communicating with any other parallel executive bodies. I also commend the efforts of the African Union and its High Representative for Libya, President Jakaya Kikwete. The Council heard this morning a briefing of EU High Representative and Vice President Federica Mogherini. The contributions of the European Union to peace, development, and the fight against human trafficking are commendable and invaluable. Mr. President, there must be clear lines and principles if there is any hope for the Libyan people to exit from the current state that has engulfed their country. As a matter of immediate priority, I propose the following 6 points. First, that the Libyan political agreement endorsed by the House of Representatives on 25th of January remains the sole legitimate framework for managing the remainder of Libya's political transition until a permanent constitution is adopted. Second, that the House of Representatives remains the institution to endorse and swear in the government of national accord. However, it must do so. After 2 unsuccessful attempts in February and April, it is high time that the Speaker assumes his responsibilities to convene a parliamentary session free of intimidation and threat for a vote on the proposed government of national accord. I also suggest that the House of Representatives request the League of Arab States, the African Union, the United Nations, and other members of the international community to attend the sessions as observers. Third, it is vital that the Presidency Council works in its entirety with all 9 members. I encourage the members who do not attend the meetings to rejoin the Presidency Council. Fourth, the Presidency Council will need to move quickly to meet the basic needs of the Libyan people. Immediate steps are needed to ensure that shortages in cash availability, food and electricity are satisfactorily addressed without further delay. The United Nations and its partners in the international community are ready to assist. Fifth, that the Presidency Council is the sole legitimate recipient of international security assistance in its capacity as Supreme Commander of a united Libyan army. And finally, sixth, averting hostilities between different Libyan security actors involved in the fight against Daesh requires an inclusive interim security arrangement, including temporary command and control arrangements for the army. There are simply no half solutions. Mr. President, distinguished members of the Council, there was considerable progress over the last days and weeks in the fight against Daesh. I commend all those who fought against terrorism in all parts of the country, including in Benghazi and Derna. I deplore the deaths of so many brave sons of Libya. Last week I visited Misrata and its hospital with its wounded. I have seen firsthand the resolve and the commitment to fight the Daesh. However, I'm also concerned about the military situation in the country. The Oil Crescent region has witnessed a build-up of military formation. Libyan army units have moved into the area from the east. Forces under the Presidency Council have been engaged in clashes with Daesh in areas west of Sirte. However, uncoordinated military actions on the ground have raised the specter of direct clashes between different forces fighting Daesh. The possibility of renewed military escalation in Libya should be a matter of grave concern for all. Libyans must not fight each other. They must fight united against the common enemy. Our mission has been actively engaging with all sides to help build consensus around a unified security architecture, assisting the Presidency Council with expertise and good offices. We must recognize, however, that Libya is a country awash with weapons, 20 million pieces of weaponry in a land of 6 million inhabitants. These weapons do not fall from the sky, but come in increasingly through illegal shipments by sea and by land. These arms fuel the conflict. These shipments must end if there is to be any serious hope of bringing peace to Libya. Weapons should only go to regular forces after approval by the Security Council Sanctions Committee. The volatile situation in Libya is prone to lead to further war crimes. All military actors in Libya must act within the bounds of international humanitarian law, and those who do not must be brought to account. I recently visited the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Fatou Bensouda, to express my support for the role that her office can play in the fight against impunity. The work of the ICC is needed in Libya now more than ever. And I ask all member states who share my concerns for the ongoing international crimes in Libya to provide the office of the prosecutor with all required information, but above all with financial resources to prosecute new crimes. Mr. President, I would like to thank the Council for its close engagement on Libya and support for a political resolution there. As the report before you shows, there is an urgent need for UNSMIL to re-establish its presence in Libya. The establishment of regular UNSMIL flights to Tripoli has facilitated some direct contact with key partners. However, such intervals of quick engagement is insufficient. It is likely that the request for assistance will increase as ministries and bureaucracy become functional again. It is essential that UNSMIL is on the ground and ready to meet the immediate needs and priorities of the Libyans. Mr. President, allow me to add a few words in Arabic on the occasion of the holy month of Ramadan. اسمحوا لي سيادة الرئيس أنا بحكي كم كلمة بالعربي بمناسبة الشهر المقدس رمضان. اليوم هو اليوم الأول شهر رمضان، وأنا أفتكر شهر رمضان هو شهر حوار، شهر تسامح، وأتمنى أن يكون رمضان هذا اليوم شهر السلام، شهر الحوار. رمضان مبارك لكلكم، وكل عام وأنتم وشعب ليبيا بخير. شكرا جزيلا. Merci bien, Monsieur le Président.
Je remercie M. Kobler de son exposé.